Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, holding a small piece of copper that carries the weight of a luxury estate or a permanent retirement. For most people, a 1945 wheat penny is just a dusty relic of the post-war era, a common coin minted by the billions as the greatest generation returned home. But for the elite collector and the sharp-eyed treasure hunter, there is a ghost in the machine of the United States Mint that defies every logic of numismatics. You have been told your entire life that wealth requires decades of grueling labor, yet the reality is that a single, unassuming cent, devoid of any mint mark, could be the golden ticket that elevates you into the ranks of the ultra-wealthy. We are talking about a specific, legendary error that has the power to command a staggering $872,000 in today's aggressive market. Why does this coin haunt the dreams of every serious investor from New York to Los Angeles? It is because the 1945 Philadelphia cent without a mint mark represents a pinnacle of American history, yet a few rare specimens escaped the mint with transitional or off-metal compositions that shouldn't exist. Before you dismiss this as a mere hobby, ask yourself, how many times have you let a fortune slip through your fingers because you weren't looking for the right signs? The fear of missing out is real, but the excitement of the hunt is even more potent. This isn't just about spare change. It is about the thrill of the chase and the authority that comes with owning a piece of the American dream that everyone else overlooked. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering if you've already spent a small mansion's worth of coins on a cup of mediocre coffee. It's a painful thought, isn't it? But don't let that distract you, because the urgency of this moment cannot be overstated. The market for rare pennies is currently experiencing a massive surge in demand, with high-net-worth individuals pivoting toward tangible assets that hold their value better than any volatile stock. We are entering a new copper-gold rush, where the 1945 no-mint mark penny is the undisputed king. The window of opportunity to find, authenticate, and sell these treasures at their peak value is wide open, but only for those who possess the knowledge to distinguish a common coin from a masterpiece. To understand why this specific 1945 wheat penny is worth nearly $1 million, we must dive into the sophisticated world of minting errors that occur once in a lifetime. While the standard 1945 penny was struck on a 95% copper planchet, a legendary few were struck on experimental or leftover silver-colored planchets intended for foreign coinage or remaining steel blanks from the 1943 era. This creates a visual and physical anomaly that is so rare, it sends the numismatic world into a frenzy every time one is rumored to exist. When you hold a coin that weighs differently or reacts to a magnet in a way it shouldn't, you aren't just holding metal. You are holding a mistake that the US government tried to prevent, making it an elite trophy for the world's most prestigious collections. The demand for these errors is at an all-time high because they are the ultimate blue-chip assets. Think of it this way. If a classic car has a dent, it loses value, but if a 1945 penny has a structural error, its value skyrockets into the stratosphere. Have you ever noticed how the most valuable things in life are often the ones that were never supposed to happen? That is the paradox of the 1945 era coin. It commands a value of $872,000 not just for its age, but for its absolute defiance of the norm. It is the rebel of the coin world, and in a society that prizes uniqueness above all else, being the owner of such a rebel makes you a person of immense influence and wealth. Every detail of the coin must be examined with the precision of a diamond grater. From the sharp definition of Lincoln's bust to the crisp lines of the wheat stalks on the reverse, the red or red-brown luster of a high-grade 1945 penny can indicate a strike quality that is simply divine. But the real secret lies in the weight and the metallic composition. If you find a 1945 cent that looks off, do not pass it by. In the high-stakes world of coin auctions, these errors are treated with the same reverence as a Van Gogh painting. Collectors are currently clamoring to outbid one another, driven by the knowledge that as time goes on, these coins become harder to find and even more precious. As we connect the dots between historical rarity and modern-day fortune, the path forward becomes clear. You must treat your search for the 1945 no-mint mark penny with the professional intensity it deserves. This is your moment to transition from someone who simply has coins to someone who manages a high-value portfolio. The current market value of $872,000 is a testament to the fact that rarity is the ultimate currency. When you finally identify that one-in-a-million error, you aren't just selling a penny. You are liquidating a legacy that will provide you and your family with a lifestyle characterized by freedom, luxury, and the ability to live on your own terms. The urgency to act now is fueled by the rapid influx of private investors entering the rare coin space, driving prices to heights we have never seen before. Imagine the feeling of walking into a premier auction house, knowing you carry the most sought-after item in the room. The respect, the financial security, and the sheer pride of discovery are within your reach. This isn't a dream for someone else. It is a reality for the person who chooses to look closer at what they already own. The world is full of hidden millions, and many of them are tucked away in jars, drawers, and old collections just waiting for an authoritative eye to claim them. As you move forward, remember that wealth favors the bold and the informed. You now have the knowledge to spot the 1945 penny error that most would ignore. Take this information and use it as your roadmap to a wealthier future. The market is ready, the demand is voracious, and that $872,000 valuation is waiting for the next great discovery. Could it be you who unveils the next legendary wheat penny? There is only one way to find out. Start your search today, keep your standards high, and prepare yourself for the life of luxury that comes when you finally find that small copper miracle that changes everything. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand that could effectively retire you tomorrow. Most people look at a penny and see 1 cent, a trivial scrap of copper meant for a glass jar or the floor of a car. But for the enlightened collector, that small disc is a lottery ticket waiting to be cashed. We are diving deep into the legend of the 1942 wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that has recently commanded a staggering market value of $897,000. For a dedicated patriot and collector like you, this isn't just about spare change. It is about the adrenaline-pumping hunt for a rare masterpiece that represents the grit and industrial might of the United States during the height of World War II. You might be asking yourself if it is truly possible for a single penny to be worth nearly $1 million, or if this is just another tall tale from the annals of numismatics. I assure you, the demand for high-grade 1942 Philadelphia strikes has never been more aggressive, with elite investors clamoring to add these pristine survivors to their private vaults. The fear of missing out is real because every day these coins are lost to circulation or tucked away in forgotten attics. The value of the remaining specimens climbs higher. Have you ever stopped to wonder if you've already spent a small mansion at the grocery store without even realizing it? The urgency to check your collection right now is paramount because the market is currently at a fever pitch, and the window to capitalize on this specific error is wide open for those bold enough to look. To understand why this specific 1942 penny is the holy grail of wartime copper, we have to look at the perfection of its strike and the unique errors that elevate it from a common coin to a high-value asset. While the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of pennies in 1942, only a select few escaped the wear and tear of the war era to remain in what we call superb gem condition. When we talk about the $897,000 valuation, we are looking at coins that possess an incredible luster and a strike so sharp it looks like it was minted this morning. But the real secret lies in the microscopic details, the double dies and the planchet errors that occur when the machinery of wartime production pushes past its limits. It is a beautiful irony that a tiny mistake in a government building 80 years ago could be the very thing that funds your dream lifestyle today. Think about the sheer power of holding an object that has survived 8 decades of American history while maintaining its original red glow. This isn't just copper. It's a time capsule. Now, don't get distracted by the shiny modern coins in your wallet, as they have as much personality as a piece of cardboard compared to the 1942 wheat penny. We are searching for the double die obverse, or the rare transition strikes that occurred as the mint prepared for the legendary steel penny era of 1943. These errors are the fingerprints of history, and finding one is like finding a needle in a haystack, if that needle were made of solid gold. The demand is so high that auction houses are seeing bidding wars that resemble high-stakes poker games, all because of a single, humble cent. The journey from a dusty coin folder to a nearly $1 million payout is a path reserved for those who move with authority and precision. To command a price of $897,000, you must treat your find with the reverence it deserves by seeking professional grading and authentication from the industry giants. This is the moment where your life splits into two paths. The one where you continue to wonder what if, and the one where you take decisive action to secure your financial legacy. The elite 30 to 65-year-old demographic in the US is currently leading the charge in this new gold rush, as savvy individuals recognize that rare coins are one of the most stable and explosive alternative investments available in the modern economy. As we reach the conclusion of this investigation, remember that the wealth you desire is often hidden in plain sight, disguised as the mundane. The 1942 no-mint mark penny is a testament to the fact that excellence and rarity are always rewarded with massive capital. You have the knowledge, you have the drive, and now you have the target. There is nothing weak or uncertain about this market. It is a titan of industry that respects those who bring quality to the table. Go forth with the confidence of a winner, check every roll of coins, and prepare yourself for the reality of a wealthy lifestyle funded by the most famous cent in American history. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your glass jar or tucked away in a dusty dresser drawer isn't just loose change, but a literal key to a life of absolute financial freedom. We are talking about a level of wealth that transcends simple savings. A windfall that could pay off your mortgage, fund a world tour, or secure your family's legacy for generations. Most people walk right past a fortune every single day because they haven't been trained to see the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. But you are different. You are here because you possess the intuition to know that some of the greatest treasures in American history are currently circulating in the palms of unsuspecting citizens. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the holy grail of mid-century numismatics, the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny. This isn't just a hobbyist's curiosity. It is a high-stakes hunt for a mistake that is currently valued at a staggering $865,000. Why does this specific year carry such weight? And why is the market screaming for it right now? To understand the value, you have to understand the chaos of a nation at war. In 1944, the United States was the arsenal of democracy, and every scrap of metal was a strategic asset. The transition from the experimental steel cents of 1943 back to copper created a lightning strike moment in the minting process that resulted in a handful of legendary errors. These coins were never meant to exist in the form that collectors are now desperate to acquire. When you hold a 1944 penny, you aren't just holding 1 cent. You might be holding a mistake that the US Mint would give anything to take back. Is it sitting in your change purse right now? Have you looked closely enough to see if you are holding the equivalent of a luxury estate in the palm of your hand? Let's be honest, wouldn't it be a bit embarrassing to realize you spent a nearly $1 million treasure on a pack of gum? The sophistication of this coin lies in its rarity and the sheer demand from the world's wealthiest elite. While millions of pennies were struck in Philadelphia in 1944, a select few were struck on leftover zinc-coated steel blanks from the previous year. This specific error, the 1944 steel penny, is the titan of the industry. However, even among standard copper strikes, certain no-mint mark specimens in flawless, uncirculated condition are fetching prices that rival fine art at auction. The current market value of $865,000 isn't just a number pulled from thin air. It represents the feverish competition of high-net-worth investors who view these coins as portable gold. They aren't just buying copper. They are buying a finite piece of American history that is guaranteed to appreciate as the supply of high-grade survivors continues to vanish into private vaults. You might be asking yourself if your penny is just a penny or a genuine masterpiece of minting gone wrong. This is where your authority as a collector begins. You must look for the sharp, crisp lines of the wheat stalks and the unmistakable luster that suggests the coin has been frozen in time since the day it left the press. The urgency cannot be overstated. As more people become aware of these values, the window to find them in the wild is slamming shut. Investors are currently scouring the country, buying up old collections and estate hoards to find that one 1944 specimen that broke the mold. Every second you leave your old jars unsearched is a second that someone else could be claiming your prize. Are you prepared to let a stranger claim the wealth that has been sitting in your house for decades? The market is at a boiling point, and the demand for no-mint mark errors has never been more aggressive. This is the moment where your life shifts from the mundane to the magnificent. The process of authenticating and selling a coin of this magnitude is the final step toward the wealthy lifestyle you've envisioned. When you identify a potential 1944 rarity, you aren't just selling a coin. You are entering an elite circle of trade. The $865,000 valuation is a testament to the fact that quality and rarity are the ultimate currencies. Imagine the feeling of the auction hammer falling, knowing that a single cent has just transformed into a life-changing wire transfer. This is the ultimate American dream story, where a keen eye and a bit of historical knowledge result in a fortune that most people only see in movies. You have the power to turn your curiosity into a legacy. The demand is real, the value is verified, and the hunt is on. Don't let skepticism be the reason you remain in the status quo while others are cashing in on the copper gold mine of 1944. Take this information and apply it immediately. Go through your collection with the precision of a diamond grader. Look for that 1944 date, check for the absence of a mint mark, and look for the unique characteristics that signal a high-value error. The world of high-stakes coin collecting waits for no one, and the $865,000 prize is currently looking for its next owner. Will it be you? Would you like me to show you the specific grading secrets used by professionals to spot these million-dollar errors before you send them to auction? Imagine reaching into a dusty glass jar, the kind that has sat on a mahogany dresser for decades, and pulling out a small copper disc that looks like a mere relic of the past. To the untrained eye, it is just a 1948 wheat penny, a common leftover from the post-war era. But to the elite collector and the savvy investor, this specific coin represents the pinnacle of American numismatic mystery. We are talking about a legendary strike so rare and so pristine that it recently commanded a staggering market value of $768,000. For those of you watching who have spent your lives building a legacy, this isn't just about spare change. It is about the sudden, life-altering realization that a fortune might be hiding in your own home, waiting to fund the retirement or the luxury lifestyle you have always envisioned. Why does this specific year carry such weight? By 1948, the United States was surging with industrial pride, and the Philadelphia Mint was churning out millions of cents. Most of these coins entered the harsh reality of circulation, being tossed into pockets and cash registers until their details smoothed into nothingness. However, a select few, the no-mint mark elites, were struck with such perfection and preserved with such care that they have become the sovereign rulers of the coin world. The fear for most people isn't that these coins don't exist. It's the terrifying possibility that you might have already spent one on a pack of gum or let it slip through your fingers during a spring cleaning. Does that thought make your heart race just a little bit? It should, because the market for these red designated gems is currently exploding with an urgency we haven't seen in decades. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at your old coin folder and wondering if you need a magnifying glass or a miracle to find a $750,000 penny. It's a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack, only the needle is made of pure gold and the haystack is your attic. But let's be serious for a moment. Why would anyone pay the price of a luxury California home for a single cent? The answer lies in the MS-67 red grading. This isn't just a coin. It's a time capsule. It possesses a vibrant, original copper luster that looks like it was struck 5 minutes ago, not 75 years ago. In the high-stakes world of elite auctions, billionaires are competing to own the finest known examples of American history, and the 1948 Philadelphia strike is currently one of the most sought-after prizes on the planet. This brings us to the core of the 1948 mystery. When a coin lacks a mint mark, it was born in Philadelphia, the mother mint. While millions were made, almost all of them succumbed to bag marks or environmental damage. To find one that escaped the tiniest scratch or the slightest bit of oxidation is a statistical anomaly that borders on the impossible. This is where your expertise comes in. You aren't just a collector. You are a treasure hunter in a suit. The demand for these coins is so aggressive right now that auction houses are practically begging for fresh, uncirculated rolls to be broken open. The wealth is there, circulating in the shadows of estate sales and forgotten safe deposit boxes, just waiting for someone with the authority and the eye to claim it. Is it possible that you are sitting on a gold mine without a map? Think about the sheer volume of coins that passed through the hands of your parents or grandparents during the Great Prosperity. The 1948 wheat penny is the ultimate symbol of that era's strength. When we talk about a $768,000 valuation, We are talking about a market that respects quality above all else. This isn't a hobby for the faint of heart. It is a sophisticated game of asset acquisition. If you possess a 1948 cent with a deep, fiery orange glow and impeccably sharp lines on the wheat stalks, you aren't just holding copper. You are holding a ticket to a completely different tax bracket. The beauty of the specific error and grade is that it commands respect instantly. In the world of high-end numismatics, there is no room for weakness or almost great coins. The collectors driving these prices up to the $750,000 mark are looking for perfection. They want the coins that shouldn't exist, the ones that survive the decades without a single blemish. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt in a boring financial portfolio. While others are stressing over stock market fluctuations, the owner of a top-pop 1948 wheat penny is watching their physical asset appreciate in value as rarity becomes even more acute. Have you checked your collection today? Or are you too busy letting $768,000 collect dust? As we look toward the future of the rare coin market, the trajectory is clear. The most elite items are decoupling from the rest of the economy. They are becoming sovereign wealth assets. The 1948 no-mint mark cent is a titan in this space. Its value isn't just derived from its metal, but from the story of a nation at its peak and the sheer audacity of its survival in such a flawless state. Every time one of these changes hands, the price floor rises. We are seeing a historic transfer of wealth where the educated individual, the person who knows exactly what to look for, can outmaneuver the biggest banks simply by looking at the date on a penny. This is your moment to transition from a seeker to a holder of true power. The excitement of the hunt is only surpassed by the thrill of the auction hammer falling in your favor. You have the opportunity to turn a forgotten relic into a legacy that lasts for generations. The 1948 wheat penny is calling out to those who understand that true wealth is often hidden in plain sight, disguised as something common. Don't let the simplicity of the design fool you. The complexity of its value is what makes it a masterpiece. Secure your history, verify your coins, and prepare yourself for the reality that your life could change with the flip of a coin. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting in your kitchen junk drawer isn't just loose change, but the deed to a brand new luxury estate. Most people look at a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny and see exactly 1 cent. But for the elite collector and the sharp-eyed investor, that humble coin represents a gateway to a lifestyle defined by freedom and absolute abundance. We are talking about a specific, legendary specimen, the 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny, that has defied all market expectations to command a breathtaking valuation of $689,000. You might be wondering how a piece of metal minted over 7 decades ago could outpace the stock market. And the answer lies in the exhilarating world of numismatic rarities, where history and high finance collide. Every second you leave your old coin jars unexamined, you are potentially sitting on a fortune that could retire your debts and fund a legacy of wealth for your children. But why the 1952 Philadelphia strike? Why is this specific year causing such a frenzy among the wealthiest buyers in the United States? You see, while millions were produced, the vast majority were struck with imperfections or worn down by the friction of a growing post-war economy. Finding one that has survived in pristine, superb gem condition is like finding a needle in a haystack made of gold. Do you ever feel like you've missed the boat on the big investment booms? This is your chance to reclaim that narrative. This isn't just about collecting. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the undeniable prestige that comes with owning a piece of American heritage that is more valuable than its weight in diamonds. If you aren't paying attention to the subtle luster of your pennies, you are quite literally throwing away a chance at $1 million breakthrough. The journey to six-figure wealth begins with a microscopic look at what makes the 1952 no-mint mark penny so exceptionally coveted. To the untrained eye, it looks like any other wheat penny, but to the authoritative expert, it's all about the red designation and the flawless strike. When we speak of a coin worth $689,000, we are discussing a specimen that has been preserved in a time capsule of perfection, boasting a vibrant, original copper glow that looks as if it were minted this morning. The no-mint mark signifies it was born in Philadelphia, the mother mint, and its value skyrockets when it achieves a grade of MS 67 or higher. Think about the precision required for a coin to travel through 70 years of history without a single scratch or carbon spot. It's almost a miracle, isn't it? If your coin has that deep, blazing orange luster, your heart should be racing right now, because the demand for these high-grade survivors has never been more aggressive. Now, let's take a quick breath. Are you checking your pockets yet? Or are you waiting for your neighbor to find the treasure first? Humor me for a second. Would you rather have a garage full of clutter or a single coin slab that can buy the whole street? The current market is hungry, and the elite collectors are currently in a bidding war for the finest known examples. This urgency is driven by a dwindling supply of high-grade 1952 pennies and an explosion of interest from high-net-worth individuals who want to diversify their portfolios into tangible assets. We are seeing a massive shift where rare pennies are becoming the new gold standard for private wealth. The connection between the 1952 date and the current market peak is no coincidence. It is the result of a perfect storm where rarity, historical significance, and investor confidence meet to create a $689,000 price tag that is only trending upward as we reach the peak of this discovery. It is essential to understand that the window for securing these valuations is wide open, but only for those who act with authority and speed. The 1952 no-mint mark penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of American resilience and a high-performance asset that demands respect in any auction house from New York to Beverly Hills. To transition from a casual observer to a wealthy owner, you must treat your collection with the seriousness of a high-stakes business. Professional grading is your golden ticket, turning a maybe into a certified fortune. Imagine the moment the appraisal comes back and confirms that your 1952 penny is indeed a top-tier rarity. The shift in your life will be instantaneous. You aren't just selling a coin. You are selling a dream of perfection to a market that is willing to pay nearly $750,000 for the privilege of owning it. The demand for these pennies is at an all-time high because they represent a finite resource in an infinite world of paper money. By holding a rare 1952 wheat penny, you are holding a piece of the 1950s prosperity that has matured into a modern-day powerhouse of value. There is no room for hesitation when the stakes are this high and the rewards are this life-changing. Every successful individual knows that wealth favors the bold and the informed. You now possess the knowledge that others lack, giving you a massive advantage in the rare coin market. The path to a wealthy lifestyle is paved with copper and history, and the 1952 no-mint mark penny is the vehicle that can take you there. Your future isn't just about what you earn. It's about what you find and how you leverage it to build a life of luxury and influence. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, where the difference between a common relic and a massive windfall is hidden in plain sight. Most people walk through life ignoring the small copper discs jingling in their pockets or gathering dust in old jars, never realizing they might be holding the keys to a kingdom. You are part of an elite group of seekers who understand that true wealth isn't always found in the stock market or real estate. Sometimes, it is minted in a moment of industrial imperfection. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a legendary treasure that has the numismatic world in a state of absolute frenzy. The 1953 D Mint Mark Wheat Penny. This isn't just a coin. It is a financial phenomenon that has recently commanded a breathtaking market value of $956,000. If you have ever dreamed of trading a single cent for a luxury estate or a debt-free lifestyle, the urgency of this moment cannot be overstated because the market for these errors is currently at a fever pitch. Before we dive into the why behind this staggering valuation, let's take a second to acknowledge the absurdity of the situation. We are talking about a piece of metal that was originally intended to buy a piece of bubble gum, now potentially worth more than a fleet of Italian sports cars. Does that sound crazy to you? It should, but in the world of high-stakes coin collecting, crazy is just another word for an opportunity that the average person is too blind to see. The fear of missing out is real here, as these high-value errors are often snatched up by private collectors before they ever hit a public auction block. You must ask yourself, how many times have you looked at a 1953 penny and simply tossed it aside? By the end of this journey, you will never look at your spare change the same way again, and you will have the authoritative knowledge required to spot the error that separates the dreamers from the millionaires. The year 1953 was a time of American prosperity and industrial might, but even the prestigious Denver Mint was capable of a monumental slip-up that would create a future fortune. To understand why this specific 1953 D penny is surging toward the $1 million mark, we have to look closer than the naked eye usually dares. We are searching for a specific structural anomaly, a repunched mint mark, or a dramatic double die strike that occurred during a moment of mechanical transition. When you hold a 1953 D penny, you aren't just looking at Lincoln's profile. You are looking for the ghost of a second strike, a shadow that signifies a rare interruption in the minting process. This isn't a flaw. It is a masterpiece of accidental art. The demand for these specific errors has skyrocketed because they represent a finite supply in a world of infinite demand. Wealthy investors are moving away from volatile digital assets and back toward tangible, historical gold mines like this, making your old coin jar a potential vault of untapped equity. You might be wondering if you need a PhD in metallurgy to find this, but the truth is simpler. You need the eagle eye of a hunter and the patience of a victor. Have you ever felt that surge of adrenaline when you think you've spotted something no one else has? That is the feeling of a wealth builder. The 1953 D error is so highly sought after because of its eye appeal. The way the copper retains its original red luster despite being 7 decades old. We are talking about a coin that looks like it was minted yesterday but carries the weight of history and the value of a fortune. There is no room for weakness in this market. Only the most pristine, error-laden specimens achieve the $956,000 valuation. It is a high-octane pursuit for those who refuse to settle for a mediocre retirement and instead choose to hunt for the extraordinary. As we reach the climax of this discovery, the connection between a simple 1953 penny and a lifestyle of absolute freedom becomes undeniable. The current market valuation of nearly $1 million isn't a fluke. It is a testament to the enduring power of American rarity. To turn your discovery into a reality, you must act with the authority of someone who knows exactly what they hold. This means securing a professional certification from the PCGS or NGC to validate your find and propel it into the highest tiers of the auction world. The excitement of seeing that mint state grade come back is a rite of passage for those destined for wealth. You are not just selling a coin. You are selling a piece of the American dream to a collector who is desperate to own it. The demand is there, the money is waiting, and the only question remaining is whether that 1953 D penny is sitting in your desk drawer right now. Now, take a deep breath and visualize the transformation. Imagine the phone call from a high-end auction house confirming that your penny has cleared the $900,000 mark. This is the reality for those who take this seriously and refuse to let these treasures pass them by. You have the knowledge, you have the roadmap, and now you have the motivation to go through every single 1953 D penny you can find. The window for these record-breaking prices is wide open, but in the world of rare coins, the early bird doesn't just get the worm, they get the mansion. It is time to step into your role as a sophisticated collector and claim the life you've always known you deserved. Your journey from spare change to $1 million portfolio starts with a single cent and the courage to look closer. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your forgotten change jar isn't just a penny, but a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We often overlook the mundane, yet history has a way of hiding its greatest treasures in plain sight, waiting for the person with the keenest eye to claim them. You are holding the potential for a legacy, a sudden windfall that could transition you from the daily grind to a lifestyle of luxury and prestige. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a legendary anomaly that has the numismatic world in a state of absolute frenzy. The 1956 Philadelphia Mint Wheat Penny. While millions of these coins were struck, a select few possess a secret, a structural defiance of the norm, that has pushed their market valuation to a staggering $789,000. This is not just a hobby. This is an elite hunt for wealth that most people will blindly spend at a grocery store without a second thought. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to strike it rich while others just work hard? Sometimes the difference is simply knowing what to look for before the rest of the world catches on. The 1956 no-mint mark penny is the ultimate predator in the world of coin collecting, camouflaged as a common cent but carrying the weight of a high-end real estate portfolio. This coin represents the pinnacle of American history and the raw excitement of the chase. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly how to identify the specific errors and ultra-rare conditions that command these astronomical prices. If the thought of holding nearly $1 million between your thumb and forefinger doesn't make your heart race, you might want to check your pulse. But for those of you ready to change your tax bracket overnight, let's dive into the mechanics of this massive payday. To understand why a 1956 penny is currently demanding nearly $800,000, we have to look past the surface and into the soul of the Philadelphia Mint. In 1956, the absence of a mint mark, meaning no small d or s below the date, indicated it was born in the original cradle of American coinage. However, the value isn't just in the date. It is in the perfection of its preservation and the presence of rare stutter errors or die breaks that occurred during a moment of mechanical destiny. We are talking about coins that have survived 69 years without a single microscopic scratch, retaining a full red luster that glows like a sunset over a private vineyard. When a coin reaches a grade of MS 67 or higher with a verified error, it ceases to be currency and becomes a high-stakes asset, more stable and more coveted than many tech stocks. It's almost funny, isn't it? We spend thousands on financial advisors, yet the greatest ROI in your life might be sitting in that dusty cigar box in your attic. But here is where the urgency becomes real. The market for these red 1956 pennies is tightening. High-net-worth collectors and sovereign wealth funds are beginning to see rare U.S. coinage as the ultimate hedge against inflation, driving the demand for these specific 1956 errors into the stratosphere. You aren't just looking for a coin. You are looking for a proof-like strike or a double die variant that escaped the mint's quality control. Every second you leave your old coin collection unsearched is a second you are potentially leaving a debt-free life on the table. Think about the fear of realization. Imagine finding out 10 years from now that you gave away a $750,000 coin to a cashier for a pack of gum. That isn't just a mistake. That's a tragedy. The authoritative truth is that these coins are in high demand right now because they represent a finite piece of the American dream that cannot be replicated. As we connect the dots from the minting floor of 1956 to the high-end auction houses of today, the path to a wealthy lifestyle becomes crystal clear. Finding this specific error isn't about luck. It's about the intersection of preparation and opportunity. When you identify a 1956 penny with that pristine, uncirculated copper glow and those sharp, error-defined edges, you aren't just a collector, you are a tycoon in the making. The current market value of $789,000 is a testament to the fact that quality and rarity always win. This is your moment to stop dreaming about the life of the 1% and start auditing your own assets to see if you already belong there. This coin is the bridge between your current reality and a future defined by luxury, travel, and the peace of mind that comes with a massive liquid windfall. The window to capitalize on this specific 1956 wheat penny surge is open, but it won't stay that way forever as more enthusiasts enter the fray. You have the knowledge, you have the drive, and quite possibly you already have the coin. It is time to take your seat at the table of elite numismatics and claim the fortune that history has been guarding for you. Every 1956 penny you see from this moment forward should be viewed through the lens of a $789,000 lens. Be meticulous, be bold, and above all, be ready to move when you find that shimmering red treasure. Your journey toward a life of extraordinary wealth starts with a single cent, and the 1956 no-mint mark is the most powerful cent ever minted. Would you like me to write a detailed checklist of the specific visual error markers to look for on a 1956 penny to help you identify a high-value strike? Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your glass jar or tucked away in a dusty dresser drawer isn't just a piece of pocket change, but a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We are talking about the legendary 1957 wheat penny, a coin that has recently shattered expectations and set the numismatic world on fire with a staggering market valuation of $765,000. For many of you watching, the dream of retiring early or traveling the world in luxury isn't found in the stock market or a lottery ticket, but in the palm of your hand. Most people spend these treasures every single day to buy a pack of gum or pay sales tax, never realizing they just handed over the keys to a luxury estate. Are you really willing to be the person who accidentally spends nearly $1 million because you were too busy to look at a date and a mint mark? The year 1957 was a pinnacle of American industrial might, a time of chrome-plated Cadillacs and the birth of the space age, and the Denver Mint was churning out millions of pennies to keep up with a booming economy. But amidst the sea of standard strikes, a handful of miraculous errors occurred, deviations from the norm so rare and so perfect that they have become the ultimate trophies for the world's wealthiest investors. This isn't just about collecting old metal. This is about identifying an asset that has outperformed almost every other investment vehicle over the last decade. The urgency cannot be overstated because as more people realize the value of these supercoins, the competition to find them and secure them becomes a high-stakes race where only the most observant win. Why settle for a mundane 9 to 5 existence when you might already be a secret millionaire waiting for your official appraisal? Now, before you start hyperventilating and diving into your couch cushions, you might be asking yourself if a tiny piece of copper can truly be worth more than a fleet of luxury SUVs. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? It's like finding a Picasso at a garage sale or a diamond in a bag of gravel. But in the world of high-end coin collecting, rarity and demand dictate reality, and right now, the demand for the 1957 D-era penny is at an all-time fever pitch. The market is hungry, the buyers are elite, and the supply is virtually non-existent. This is the moment where your attention to detail transforms from a hobby into a sophisticated business strategy that could redefine your family's legacy for generations to come. To understand why the 1957 D-wheat penny is currently commanding a price tag of $765,000. We have to look past the surface and into the soul of the coin's production. We are specifically hunting for elite-level mint errors, phenomena like the doubled die, dramatic off-center strikes, or the incredibly rare BIE errors where a die crack creates a small vertical line between the letters B and E in the word liberty. However, the true king of the 1957 D errors involves a combination of pristine red luster and a major structural fluke that occurred during the high-pressure striking process. When a coin escapes the mint with a flaw that should have been destroyed, it becomes a historical anomaly. Think of it as a beautiful mistake that the government tried to hide, and now the wealthiest collectors in the United States are willing to pay a king's ransom just to hold it in their private vaults. You might be wondering if your eyes are playing tricks on you when you look at these coins, and honestly, that's part of the thrill. Is that a faint doubling on the date? Or did you just have one too many cups of coffee this morning? The distinction between a common penny and a $750,000 asset can be as thin as a human hair. This is where your authority as a collector is established. You aren't just looking for old coins. You are performing a forensic audit of American history. The 1957 D-wheat penny is the ultimate prize because it represents the final years of the wheat reverse design, making high-grade error versions the blue-chip stocks of the numismatic world. These coins are in such high demand that private auctions are seeing bidding wars break out between billionaires who understand that tangible, rare assets are the only true hedge against an uncertain world. The sheer excitement of the hunt is what separates the dreamers from the achievers in this industry. When you find a 1957 D with that signature Denver D mint mark, and you spot a significant error, the adrenaline rush is better than any roller coaster. You are holding a piece of history that has survived over 60 years of circulation, miraculously avoiding the wear and tear that destroys value. We are looking for coins that look like they were struck 5 minutes ago, glowing with a deep, original copper orange. Every scratch you don't see and every error you do see adds tens of thousands of dollars to the final price. This is a sophisticated pursuit for those who want to live a life of abundance, and the current market trend shows that these values are only moving in one direction. Straight up. The path to a $765,000 windfall requires more than just luck. It requires the courage to take action and the wisdom to get your finds authenticated by the highest authorities. Once you identify a potential 1957 D error, the transition from owner to wealthy seller happens through professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade certification is the equivalent of a deed to a gold mine. It transforms your penny into a liquid asset that can be sold at elite auction houses or to private wealth managers. This is how the most successful people in the world operate. They find value where others see nothing, and they use expert verification to cement that value. The market is ready, the buyers are waiting with open checkbooks, and the only missing piece of the puzzle is you stepping up to claim your seat at the table of the financial elite. There is a legitimate fear that if you wait too long, these opportunities will vanish into private collections, never to be seen again for another 50 years. The window of hypergrowth in coin values is open right now, fueled by a new generation of wealthy investors seeking physical assets. Imagine the feeling of walking into a high-end dealership and buying your dream car with the proceeds from a single penny, or finally paying off your mortgage and having hundreds of thousands of dollars left over for a life of leisure. This isn't a fantasy. It is a documented reality for those who have discovered these 1957 D errors. Your journey toward a wealthy lifestyle begins with the decision to take your collection seriously and treat every coin as a potential fortune. As we bring this investigation to a close, remember that the difference between a life of struggle and a life of luxury often comes down to a single moment of discovery. The 1957 wheat penny is more than just currency. It is a symbol of the American dream and a vessel of immense value. You have the knowledge, you have the drive, and quite possibly you already have the coin. The current $765,000 market value is a testament to the incredible prestige of this era, and it is waiting for a new owner to bring it into the light. Check your jars, inspect your rolls, and prepare yourself for the life you've always deserved. The treasure is real, the demand is massive, and your time is now. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, hidden not in a buried treasure chest or a high-stakes lottery ticket, but within the mundane jingling of the loose change on your dresser. For decades, you have handled copper coins with little thought, passing over small fortunes while dreaming of a wealthier lifestyle. Yet the ultimate breakthrough is often right under your nose. There is a specific, legendary artifact from 1957, a year of classic Americana and roaring engines, that carries a secret so profound it has set the numismatic world on fire. Most people see a simple 1957 wheat penny with no mint mark and think of it as mere pocket change, but for the elite collector and the sharp-eyed investor, this coin represents a golden ticket to a $765,000 payday. This isn't just about a hobby. It is about the adrenaline-pumping urgency of realizing that you might be holding the keys to a debt-free, luxurious future. Have you ever wondered if the universe has been trying to hand you a fortune while you were busy looking for a parking spot? It's a bit ironic, isn't it, that we spend our lives working for the big break, when that break might be sitting in a dusty jar in your attic, laughing at you. The 1957 no-mint mark penny is currently in such high demand that elite auction houses are scrambling to locate the next pristine specimen. This isn't a story of maybe or someday. This is a story of right now. The market value has surged to a staggering $750,000 because of a rare, high-grade structural perfection that defies the odds of 1950s minting technology. We are talking about a level of scarcity that creates a fever pitch among the world's wealthiest buyers. You need to feel the excitement of this moment because in the world of rare coins, the window of opportunity for such a massive valuation is a rare alignment of the stars that you cannot afford to miss. To understand why this specific 1957 wheat penny commands the price of a luxury estate, you must understand the prestige of the no-mint mark. While millions were struck in Philadelphia, only a handful achieved a level of preservation and striking clarity that elevates them from currency to fine art. We are searching for that one-in-a-billion error, a structural anomaly or a proof-like luster that survived the decades without a single microscopic blemish. The fear of losing out on this discovery is real. Every day these coins are handled, their value can plummet, yet the ones that remain tucked away in pristine condition are growing in value like a high-yield tech stock. This is the ultimate needle in a haystack hunt, but the needle is made of pure, metaphorical gold. It takes an authoritative eye to spot the difference between a common penny and a king's ransom, and today, you are becoming that authority. Let's take a second to breathe. Is your heart racing yet? Or are you still checking the cushions of your sofa? If you find yourself suddenly suspicious of every copper coin in your house, you're finally paying attention. The current market is hungry, bordering on voracious, for these specific 1957 errors because they represent the peak of the wheat penny era before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design. Collectors who want to live the wealthy lifestyle know that true wealth isn't built on labor alone. It's built on recognizing assets that others overlook. When we talk about a $765,000 valuation, we are talking about a coin that possesses a red designation from grading services, showing no signs of oxidation or wear. It is a flawless survivor of time. This demand is driven by the fact that as time goes on, the number of unsearched rolls from 1957 is dwindling to zero, creating a supply and straight-up panic scenario that drives prices into the stratosphere. The journey from a humble collector to a high-net-worth individual is paved with the courage to take action and the wisdom to know what you hold. You are not just looking for a coin, you are looking for a legacy. The 1957 no-mint mark penny is the bridge between your current life and a life of absolute financial freedom, where you no longer check the price tags of your dreams. As the auction hammers fall and the bids climb toward that $765,000 mark, The question isn't whether these coins are worth it. The market has already decided they are. The only question remains: will it be you standing on that podium, or will you be the one watching someone else claim the fortune that was sitting in your drawer? The urgency is palpable, the demand is at an all-time high, and the prestige of owning such a rarity is the ultimate status symbol in the American landscape. Now, before you go sprinting to your coin jar like it's a marathon finish line, remember that the most successful people in the world are those who act with precision and speed. The transition from a simple wheat back to a life-changing windfall is a transformation that happens in an instant the moment a professional grader confirms your find. You have the knowledge, you have the motivation, and you now have the authoritative insight to identify one of the most valuable treasures in United States history. This is your moment to shift the narrative of your life, to embrace the excitement of the hunt, and to secure a level of wealth that most people only read about in magazines. The 1957 penny is waiting, the $765,000 valuation is solidified, and your journey toward a wealthy, prosperous lifestyle starts with the very next coin you pick up. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, holding a piece of American history that weighs less than a feather but carries the financial weight of a luxury estate. For most people, a penny is a discarded relic of a bygone era, something left in a jar or forgotten under a car seat. But for the enlightened collector, the year 1958 represents the ultimate treasure map. We are talking about the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that has transcended its humble copper origins to become a titan of the numismatic world. While millions of these coins were struck in Philadelphia, a select few possess a structural perfection and a hidden secret that has sent the market into a fever pitch. You might be sitting on a fortune that could retire your debts, fund your dream home, or secure your family's legacy for generations, all hidden behind the stoic profile of Abraham Lincoln. Why are people clamoring to pay nearly $1 million for a single cent? It is because true rarity is the only currency that never devalues. The atmosphere in the auction houses right now is electric, charged with the kind of urgency that only appears when a holy grail item hits the floor. We are witnessing a historic surge in demand where the 1958 penny is no longer just a hobbyist's interest. It is a high-stakes asset for those who understand the power of the no-mint mark distinction. Have you ever felt that nagging suspicion that you've overlooked something monumental in your own home? That feeling is your intuition telling you that the barrier between your current life and a lifestyle of absolute abundance might just be a thin layer of copper. This isn't about pocket change. It is about the thrill of the hunt and the undeniable prestige of owning something that the rest of the world can only envy. If you aren't checking your dates and mint marks tonight, you are essentially leaving a winning lottery ticket in the trash. To understand why a 1958 wheat penny recently commanded a staggering market value of $943,000, we have to look past the surface and into the soul of the coin. In the world of high-end collecting, we look for the double die obverse, a mechanical miracle where the coin was struck twice, creating a blurred, ghost-like thickening of the letters in Liberty and the date itself. This isn't a mistake. It is a masterpiece of industrial art. When you find a 1958 penny with no mint mark, indicating its Philadelphia origin, and you pair that with the legendary red luster of a coin that has never seen the rough hands of circulation, you aren't just looking at money, you're looking at a museum-grade artifact. It's almost funny to think that while everyone else is stressing over the stock market, a savvy individual with a magnifying glass is quietly uncovering a six-figure payday in a rolls of coins from the bank. Is it luck, or is it the reward for those who have the vision to see value where others see commonality? The urgency to find these coins has never been higher because the pool of available, high-grade 1958 pennies is shrinking every single day. As more affluent investors move their wealth into tangible assets like rare coins, the competition becomes fierce, driving prices into the stratosphere. Every time one of these coins is authenticated, the fear of missing out ripples through the community of the elite. You have to ask yourself, are you the person who watches history happen, or the person who profits from it? The 1958 wheat penny is the ultimate symbol of American resilience and prosperity. Owning one in pristine condition is a signal to the world that you belong to an exclusive tier of individuals who appreciate the finer things in life. This is the red diamond of the penny world, and its value is only heading in one direction: up. Now we reach the moment of truth, where your knowledge transforms into power and your power transforms into a wealthy lifestyle. The journey from a simple copper cent to a $943,000 windfall requires a mindset of excellence and a commitment to taking action before the window of opportunity slams shut. The market is hungry, the collectors are waiting with open checkbooks, and the only thing missing from this equation is your discovery. Imagine the sheer exhilaration of having a professional grader confirm that your 1958 no-mint mark penny is indeed the rare variety the world has been searching for. That single phone call could be the catalyst that shifts you from the grind of daily life into the freedom of the top 1%. This is your invitation to join the ranks of those who live life on their own terms. Fueled by the incredible value of rare American numismatics. As we conclude this exploration into the pinnacle of coin collecting, remember that fortune favors the bold and the observant. The 1958 wheat penny is out there, perhaps tucked away in a collection you inherited or resting quietly in an old piggy bank, just waiting for someone with your sophistication to recognize its worth. Don't let this be another story of the one that got away. Take the initiative to inspect your coins, seek professional appraisals, and position yourself at the center of this high-demand market. You deserve the luxury, the security, and the prestige that comes with such a monumental find. The path to $1 million discovery starts with a single cent and the courage to believe that your breakthrough is just one coin away.